Just getting set up, lighting, getting ready to shoot. Serial entrepreneur. Serial. Just kidding. Let's get going. 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? Jordan Steen here, serial entrepreneur, and I have another great topic that I'm going to cover for you guys. It's a question I get asked from my students. It's a question I get asked on my YouTube channel, my Facebook. You know, people ask me this all the time. Jordan, what are some really good niches that I can get in, or what are some really good industries that I can target for potential customers for my digital marketing agency or for my social media marketing business? And that's what we're going to get into right now. We're going to show you some of the top 5 industries or niches that you can target if you do it the right way. See, that's the thing. Each niche is different. So we'll just say, for example, restaurants. Restaurants have all kinds of different types of restaurants, right? The restaurant industry has a ton of different types of restaurants. So that being said, you have to look at each one and say, okay, well, is there a viable market there? Is there something that I can actually make some money off of? And the biggest thing most people miss out on with restaurants is they go for the mom and pop shops, the brand new restaurants, or 1 to 2 years old, barely have any experience. Usually it's a lot of these people who start these restaurants do it because they have a passion for food, but they've never worked in the restaurant industry before. That's why a lot of these businesses go out of business, and a lot of restaurants don't make it, quite frankly. So anyways, that's just kind of but you look at that and you compare that to the higher end restaurants like, you know, a steakhouse or something like that, or what are those Japanese hibachi restaurants or seafood restaurants where the ticket items are, you know, $50 for a plate for one entree, right? And those are completely different than looking at a small mom and pop shop, or even just a fast food chain, or a franchise business in the restaurant industry, right? So you have to know which ones are good to target and which ones aren't so good to target. So that's what we're going to go into. We're going to look at some of the best niches, some of the advice into going into each niche when you're trying to target them for clients. So let's just go ahead and jump right in and get into the first niche. And these are not in any particular order. These are all very prime niches to go after, so there is no one best. These are just all that are doing well and spending a lot in digital marketing. So they get a good ROI. That's a good indicator to look at someone who's going to be more likely to spend in digital marketing. If they are getting really good ROI from their digital marketing efforts, they're probably going to keep spending there, right? So that means more and more people in those industries will continue to spend because digital marketing is still growing. So the first little category we're going to look at is lawyers. Lawyers or attorneys. I believe that's yes. Attorneys. All right, lawyers and attorneys are great for a few reasons. Number one, they have a very low almost overhead. They don't have to have huge insurance plans like doctors or surgeons do, so they don't have to worry about that expense as much. They do have to have insurance, but nowhere near as much coverage as a doctor or surgeon. They charge a lot of money for their services, their professional services, and just about everybody has used a lawyer for something. You know, any kind of lawyer could be, you know, looked at in this case, because the only real group of attorneys that don't make as much money are like corporate attorneys. And then when you start to try and go after the larger firms, they're usually so large that, you know, they're just hard to even get in touch with, and they have large agencies that they're already working with. So just know what kind of lawyers you're trying to go after. You know, family lawyers, the civil lawyers who do, you know, just basic jobs that everyday people will use. Those are really good attorneys to target. And again, they just make so much money. They've actually, you know, since 2000 and I think around 2008 was when attorneys started to make a real big switch into digital marketing, and they just see tons of great effort, or a lot of great results from creating vlogs and blogs where they're getting out free advice basically from their lawyers or attorneys at their firm to people, and they give it out for free because they know that when they really need help, when they really need a lawyer, they'll come in and they'll purchase that lawyer's services because they've been following them on Facebook already or on YouTube via their YouTube channel. So that's the first niche to look at. Lawyers and attorneys, they make a ton of money, so they spend a decent amount on advertising. They do really well with pay-per-click campaigns, search engine optimization, having a great website, landing pages, video content, again, is a great way. But they're always one of the top spenders in advertising in general, just in all ad budgets. When you look at per industry, the legal industry spends a ton of money, not just on digital, but they do it in radio, in print, on TV as well. Like, they always spend a ton of money. So that's the first one, and actually we got enough room on here, so I'll just write the second one. The second one is going to be one of the newest growing industries, newest growing industries to target, and that's going to be real estate. Alright? And what's funny is, it took them forever, but real estate agents are finally realizing now that with high quality video, they can make really, really cool ads for the homes they're trying to sell and put them online. Like, I don't know why it took so long for real estate agents to get that, but digital marketing is going to be huge for them in, the remainder of 2017 and even continuing into 18 and 19. With drones coming out, drone video is awesome because you get a full landscape or a full view of the landscape of the home from an aerial view. That's awesome to do. You can even fly them through the house and get really cool footage if you're good at it. Like, it is just a really cool tool to use, and they're using all of this video software now, all these video platforms. I actually worked directly with a real estate agent that's local to me. He runs one of the larger agencies around here. He was talking to me about a buddy of his who actually started a vlog channel talking about his properties and doing weekly content about buying homes and stuff like that. And he's selling a ton of homes doing that because of how awesome video content is for real estate. And that's why they're getting into it now, because they can see that they can promote their videos and their homes that they're selling out to potential customers. They can build great content around their business. And when someone, because all that you have to think is when you're looking at a real estate agent, when it comes time for someone to buy or sell a home, they just need to have a real estate agent in mind. So it's that top of mind awareness game that you're playing with the real estate agent. So if you make a local real estate agent really popular in his area for having just really awesome Facebook content, and you keep targeting that content to that area, same with YouTube and stuff like that, people are going to watch his content because they're interested in information about buying and selling homes. So you turn him into a local authority, you've just made him a ton of money, all right? So, or her a ton of money. I don't like to get sexist or anything like that, sorry guys. I know I just get a ton more guy viewers than girls. I know I do have some female viewers, so I'm sorry ladies, I didn't mean to offend y'all if I did. I totally love you guys too, and you guys, like, I don't know why more women aren't in digital marketing. Just the trend in general, there's more men in digital marketing, and it just blows my mind because women are really great at this stuff too. Marie Forleo is a really great digital marketer out there that you guys might have heard of, but there's tons of these. Amy Porterfield is another great digital marketer out there. There's a ton of women that need to realize this industry is here for y'all too. Anyways, I'm getting off track, so let's get back. So let me just make sure I hit everything in my notes. Yep, cover video, drone videos, awesome. And yeah, real estate is going to be one of the fastest growing industries in digital marketing because they were one of the last ones to make it to the game for some reason. Alright, number 3, and this is the one I get a lot of questions about, and for some reason most people seem to target. I think it's just because there's so many out there, they think it's a viable business, and lawyers and attorneys can be intimidating, I guess, because they're so professional and they're very well educated. But they're no different than a restaurant, I'm telling you. And these guys, they spend so much more money than a restaurant will. Just trust me on that. Same with real estate. Like, I'm betting these guys are spending tons of money because they make so much money on a home being sold. So number 3, again, is going to be restaurants. Alright. Any of y'all ever have trouble when you were growing up spelling restaurants? I used to have trouble spelling it when I was growing up. As a kid, I could never spell restaurants right, but I finally taught myself a way to spell it a long time ago. But yeah, that was just always one of those words that tripped me up. Anyways, so restaurants, that's going to be obviously another great industry to target, and the reason why is because there's so many restaurants out there. The trick, and again I mentioned it in the beginning of the video, the trick is knowing which restaurants to go after. The small mom and pop restaurants are not going to be able to afford your services. Restaurants on average make about 4 to 6% if they're doing well, profit margins in their business. Like, it's not a ton of profit, so on every dollar they're making 4 to 6 cents. Does that make sense to you guys? It's not a ton of profit, so you have to keep in mind the smaller restaurants with only one location. If they have one location, their entrees better be $50 a plate, and they better be booked every single night of the week. That's the only way you're going to be able to get them on as a client. So keep that in mind. It's super important when you're doing this or when you're trying to find restaurants. Try to find the ones that have a minimum of 2 to 3 locations. Don't even look at the ones that have just one location, because I'm telling you right now, unless you know the person who manages it or owns it, and you know they have deep pockets, it's not going to be worth your time to go and try and get that restaurant. All right. Let me see, let me make sure I covered everything. Yeah, avoid mom and pop shops, look for chains, at least 2 to 3 locations, pay attention to the type of restaurant it is. Again, high end versus fast food versus an average sit down versus a brand new mom and pop shop that can only seat 25 people. It's not going to make it, I'm telling you. Alright, so those are the first 3 right there. Now we're going to go into the 4th category, which a lot of you probably haven't paid any attention to, but they're spending a ton of money on this, on digital marketing, and that's going to be the event industry. Alright, events. And you can see right here in the screencast, I'll show you guys that really quick, but basically what you can see is we have sporting events, meetings, conference, expos for business, cultural, arts, and music events. Social media and digital marketing strategies have done amazing things for event promotion. The shift in ad budget from traditional marketing to digital marketing over the last 5 years has been huge in this industry. And the reason why is because events are something exciting, right? That's a social experience anyways. If you're going to a baseball game or a basketball game, or you're going to a concert or some sort of business expo, it's a social event, right? That's what those events are hosted for. So events do great with social, which means they're going to do great on social media. So Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all of them. As many of them as you can get them on that it makes the most sense, you can get those guys on there and make a killing off of selling Facebook ads, social media marketing platforms or packages, to those types of clients. So events, again, just focus on sporting events. You can do like local minor league teams, stuff like that. Let's see, local people that host concerts on a regular basis. So don't go after like small little theaters that don't have many people coming through it. You know, try and find those bigger event venues that you can target and try and work in and say, hey, this is what I'm able to do for event marketing, and get you guys' name out there. There's tons of them. Catering services are considered part of the event, or party hosting companies, things like that, part of the event industry. It's a really great industry to target because they're spending a ton of money in it. And then last but definitely not least, all right, number 5. The last one is going to be car dealerships. Oh, get small. Alright, car dealerships. And car dealerships are great because they don't compare to any other business in the industry with regards to marketing the business, how it works with their budget versus their profit margin or return. You know, there's just nothing like it. So, and I want you guys to think about this. I want you to tell me, and trust me, I sat down and tried to think about this when I first got into digital marketing, because I was like, well, if car dealerships are so great, what are some other businesses that I could go after that are similar to car dealerships? And I tried thinking about it. It's very hard to do. Name a product that is a household product that every household in America wants or has at least one of, that also sells for $15,000 to $25,000 to upwards of, you know, $100,000 vehicle, that every home in America has one, or at least every home in America has one compared to if you look at the ratio of car ownership versus, you know, how many people live in America. Car dealerships are the only ones that sell at that high of a price point. You can't name another business that sells that high online. So that's why they're able to spend, you know, they spend more. I haven't found another business or industry that spends more than them, but they spend more on marketing than anybody else out there. I remember when I was working in Jacksonville, we had this one car dealership that spent, I think, around $500K a month with us. $500K a month. That's like insane. But they were selling, I think, around 2,000 to 3,000 cars a month. All right, so think about that. 2,000 to 3,000 times 30 grand, or we'll say the average vehicle was like 15 to 20 grand. That's a killing that they're making, and they're spending 500 grand. I don't know what that equates to, but I think it's like $100 million or a couple $100 million in sales. It's retarded, right? So that's what you have to keep in mind. These dealerships are great. Now the issue is getting in with them. So you can get meetings with them. Now don't let me stop you there, because just because it's a big dealership, same thing with attorneys, does not mean they are not looking to talk to you. I have a student who's actually talking with a Ferrari agency out where she lives. That's insane, right? Like, she's brand new to this, talking to a Ferrari agency. So that's what, I mean, the reason why, again, if you listen to what I just said a minute ago, it's because of how much they spend. You're able to charge them, you know, $10 to $15 to $30 to $50,000 a month, depending on the size dealership, and get those sales for them, and they will continue to pay you every single month, and you'll be making a six-figure business, you know, in 2 months. It's crazy. But so some quick things to know: don't go after the smaller lots, the little local, you can go after used car dealerships, but make sure it's a bigger, like maybe a chain of used car dealerships, or just their lot size, you know, they have a couple hundred cars on the lot, or 100 cars on the lot at least, something like that. If you go after the smaller ones, you're going to have the headache like you would with restaurants. They don't have as big of profit margins because they're going to like auto shows and auctioning cars, stuff like that, and then reselling them at a much higher price. So it's just a little bit different of a game with them. That's why I like to go with the dealerships, like the legitimate, not legitimate, because I don't want to call used car dealerships not legitimate, but the ones that are, you know, the bigger family names around your area. Like around here, everyone knows Allen Vigil Ford. I guess you just got some free advertising, but everyone knows that name in my area, so you know it's kind of like that. So just let's go through these quick tips really quick. They're spending the most. Only one of the only industries with high ticket sales that can appeal to the masses. Stay away from the smaller dealerships, like I mentioned. Focus on PPC ads and local SEO. Also, social media marketing is doing really great for them. And then also know their profit margins range from 18 to 15%. So if they sell a car for, we'll just keep it easy, we'll say 50 grand. 10% of that is 5,000, so 15% would be about 7,500 bucks that they just made off of one car. That's profit. So puts it into perspective for you. Anyways, guys, those are the hottest 5 niches in my opinion and in several other people's opinions online. So I hope that was beneficial for you. If you guys want to find out more information about getting into digital marketing, if you're just interested in getting more material, getting a better understanding of SEO, pay-per-click, email marketing, web development, social media marketing, any of that, Facebook ads, whatever, we go over it in my course, and it's the cheapest course on the market. It provides the most value. I can't stress this enough, how much value my course provides. I get people all the time coming from other courses saying that my course is just much more thorough. You can check out my reviews on Facebook. People will tell you that there. But anyways, guys, if you guys are interested in my course, there's going to be a link in the description below. You can check that out. It'll also probably have some sort of free attachment to go along with it, so you're going to want to see that. But outside of that, if you're not interested in that, or if you just don't know whether you want to start digital marketing yet, or you're still questioning it, or if you're in digital marketing and just want more help, I've started a mentorship program. You can get in that mentorship program for only $20 a month, super cheap. If you need more information about that, it's going to be on the website too. You can also find that at digitalmarketingschool.teachable.com. If you need to ask me any questions whatsoever, you can always reach out to me on Facebook at jordansteen-serialentrepreneur.com, on Snapchat at serialent, Instagram at serial_entrepreneur, and I think that's it. Yeah, those are the 3 that I care about. Other than that, make sure you subscribe, because I promise you're going to love the content that I keep putting out. I have a whole schedule that I'm coming at you guys with over these next few months to build up my school and my course, so trust me when I say that you guys are going to want to stick around. Hit that notification bell in the bottom, and that way you always know when they're coming. So anyways, guys, thanks again for watching. I'm going to get out of here and go do some more video. For now, Serial Entrepreneur Jordan Steen out.